Jones also alleges Combs forced him to engage in unwelcome acts with and that Combs and his staff engaged in, quote, serious illegal activity. He is seeking $30 million.
Claim that Diddy groped his touched his. He believes that Diddy was him to have. He says that Diddy downplayed it just like he as a joke, like, yo, we just playing around.
Just horse playing.
Yeah.
Looks like Diddy might be facing some serious isolation because the folks around him are starting to distance themselves, even his own son, or so they say. I mean, can you blame them? Everyone who's ever been linked to Diddy seems to end up getting dragged through the mud. So it's no wonder people are keeping their distance. And apparently one of those steering clear is none other than Diddy's own flesh and blood, Justin Combs, his eldest son. Now, if you haven't caught wind of the latest, there's a fresh lawsuit making the rounds. And it's not just Diddy's name that's getting tossed around. This lawsuit's got a laundry list of co-conspirators, including some big names like Cuba Gooding Jr., Meek Mill, Young Miami, Stevie J, Usher, Chris Brown, and Justin Combs himself. Word on the street is that these folks are either accused of aiding and abetting or being caught up in the mess Diddy's allegedly made. The thing is, since this lawsuit hit the scene, it's been crickets from these alleged co-conspirators. They're probably hoping this whole thing blows over, but with the internet ablaze and every media outlet covering the story, it's not looking like it'll die down anytime soon. And Justin Combs? Well, word on the street is he's not taking these allegations lying down. Apparently he's gearing up to fight back and clear his name, and he's not holding back with his responses. They're supposedly pretty brutal. This whole situation is straight up bananas. But let's dive right in. So, there's a brand spankin' new chapter unfolding in the Diddy saga. We're talking about some serious heavy stuff that could potentially slam the door shut on Diddy's career and send him straight to the slammer. Another lawsuit has landed in Diddy's plate, making it his 5th case since November. This lawsuit is a whopping 70 pages of pure legal drama. And it's not for the faint of heart because it dives into some seriously disturbing allegations against Diddy. The accuser, Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr., a producer who apparently worked on Diddy's latest album, the Love Album, Off the Grid. Jones also claims that the 54-year-old music mogul tried to G him into accepting a homo relationship, alleging that this kind of thing is all too common in the music industry. According to Jones, he was practically living in Diddy's shadow for over a year, from September 2022 to November 2023. And if you take a peek at his Instagram, it looks like he's got the receipts. According to some juicy court docs snagged by Billboard, this Lil Rod Jones Jr. dude is dropping some serious bombs on Diddy. I'm talking about allegations of inappropriate touching without consent and some seriously sketchy attempts to rope him into these rumored foes with other guys. And get this, Diddy supposedly promised Jones a Grammy for his production work if he, and I quote, taste the rainbow, if you know what I mean. But before we dive headfirst into these wild accusations, let's talk about how Justin Combs is roped into all of this. So, in these legal docs that TMZ got their hands on, according to Jones, Diddy apparently gave him, Stevie J, and Justin Combs the green light to round up and underage girls for his parties. Yeah, you heard that right, and if that's not wild enough, Jones claims he was right in the thick of it when a friend of Justin's got shot. Like, he was practically 2 feet away when it all went down. When Diddy and Justin came out of the restroom, Jones says he saw the poor guy bleeding from gunshot wounds. But hold on, because it gets crazier. Jones alleges that Diddy pressured him into lying to the cops, spinning some story about it being a drive-by. Now, Justin's been quick to shut this whole thing down. He and his legal team are firing back at these wild accusations with full force. According to a statement from his reps, Justin is flat out denying all of these absurd allegations, calling them nothing but a desperate attempt for a quick cash grab. Justin Combs categorically denies these absurd allegations, the statement reads. They are all lies. This is a clear example of a desperate person taking desperate measures in hopes of a payday. There will be legal consequences for all defamatory statements made about the Combs family. But some folks out there still aren't buying it. They're saying like father, like son, and there's no way Justin could have been completely in the dark about all this. I mean, the guy's known for living it up like his old man, and he's not exactly a stranger to controversy. Remember last year when he got nabbed for running a red light? Yeah, he got pulled over around 8 a.m. by a cop who spotted him cruising through that red light. TMZ even got their hands on a pic of Justin chatting with the officer. Turns out, the cop clocked Justin behind the wheel and decided there was enough reason to slap him with a DUI. He ended up getting booked for a misdemeanor and had to cough up a $5,000 bond, according to reports. But he didn't spend too long behind bars because they let him go on his own recognizance, as reported by the U.S. Sun. Then he goes and pleads no contest for having a blood alcohol content over the legal limit, but his charge for driving under the influence got dropped. As part of his 3-year probation, Justin's got to enroll in and finish up a 3-month alcohol and education program for first-time offenders. And just when you thought it couldn't get any juicier, Justin's mom, Hilton, didn't hold back. She took to her Instagram to throw some shade at none other than Diddy himself. In one IG story, Misa wrote, "I'm not protecting no one anymore, just my son," while adding in another post. The statement of fish rots from the head down means that, in addition to being a major contributing factor in a family or organization's success, leadership is also the root cause of its failure and demise. The truth shall set you free. She went on, writing, "Act bad, bad boy. I used to want to be a bad girl. I chose to be a queen, tried and true. I'm not perfect, but I am intentional." Seemingly, Misa was referencing Diddy's relationship with Miami, 29, and their new Act Bad single. Without explanation, the mom of 3 then called out Justin's alma mater, UCLA, saying, "I should have kept my child with me. F UCLA too. Everybody can get it." It's unclear what UCLA has to do with Justin's arrest at this time, but the former football player graduated from the university in 2016. And now, with Justin getting tangled up in this lawsuit mess, people are wondering how his mom's gonna handle it all. So let's break down what this lawsuit's all about. Among the laundry list of accusations is Diddy allegedly strong-arming Jones into arranging encounters with SEX workers and pressuring him into participating in some seriously unwanted bedroom activities, not just with these workers, but with others too. And if that's not enough to make your jaw hit the floor, get this, Diddy supposedly served up spiked drinks to unsuspecting guests at his swanky parties. According to the lawsuit, there are even screenshots supposedly showing gatherings at Diddy's digs that included underage girls and more SEX workers. And get this, some of these ladies allegedly had their drinks tampered with at Diddy's direction. This legal bombshell also called out some other names, like about Diddy's right-hand woman, Christina Coram, Universal Music Group CEO, Sir Lucian Grange, and former Motown Records CEO, Ethiopia Habtemariam. They're all caught up in this legal whirlwind. Jones says in the lawsuit that Grange, Habtemariam, Motown Records, Love Records, and Universal Music Group effectively worked together with Combs in a RICO enterprise that failed to adequately monitor, warn, or supervise the actions of Combs, his son, and his chief of staff. A RICO enterprise is any individuals or groups that act together to violate the Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. And get this, Jones isn't just looking for a slap on the wrist here, he's aiming high, seeking a cool $30 million in damages. But an attorney for Combs is slamming Jones' claims as pure fiction, straight up calling them out as a cheap ploy to grab headlines. "We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones' attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls," the attorney Sean Hawley said in a statement. "We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them." Now, according to Jones' lawsuit, he claims that back in August 2022, Diddy himself reached out to him to produce some tunes for the R&B album, the Love Album, Off the Grid, which ended up snagging a Grammy nomination after its release in September 2023. But here's the kicker. Jones says his life took a nosedive after he agreed to work with Diddy. Jones alleges that Combs' SEX harassed and aided him while he lived with him at Combs' homes in Florida, Los Angeles, and New York, as well as on a yacht Combs rented in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The harassment in A included constant unsolicited and unauthorized groping and touching of his A, according to the lawsuit. Jones says he was forced to work in Combs' bathroom as Combs showered naked in a glass enclosure. When he tried to raise the alarm about Diddy's behavior to Christina Coram, Diddy's right-hand woman, Jones claims she brushed it off as just friendly horseplay, stating that those acts were Mr. Combs' way of showing that he likes you. The lawsuit accuses Coram of aiding and abetting Combs' SA of Jones and of working with Combs to word him into accepting a homo relationship. Jones also alleges that he was forced to solicit SEX workers and perform SEX acts with them to please Combs. To aid in the alleged recruitment, Jones said, Combs provided him with an exclusive bad boy baseball cap and required him to wear it to a Miami establishment as a signal to any sex worker he approached that Combs was in town and had sent Jones to recruit them. Jones alleges Combs, whom he describes in the suit as forceful and demanding and someone who does not take no for an answer, leveraged his power as one of the most influential people in hip-hop and business to intimidate him, including by threatening to inflict bodily harm if Jones did not comply with his demands. On one occasion, Jones alleges, Combs forced him to watch as he displayed guns and bragged about getting away with shooting people. In a separate incident, Jones alleges, Combs shared that he was responsible for a shooting in a nightclub in New York City in 1999 with the rapper Shine, born Jamal Barrow. A jury acquitted Combs of gun possession and bribery charges in connection with that incident, while Barrow was sentenced to 10 years in jail. Jones was terrified of Combs and felt he could not tell him no, according to the suit. Mr. Combs consistently made it clear that he has immense power in the music industry and with law enforcement, the lawsuit says. Jones says in the lawsuit that he has video and audio evidence to support some of the allegations. The lawsuit says that Combs required Jones to record him constantly, and that on several occasions, Combs took Jones's cell phone to record himself. As a result, Jones alleges he has hundreds of hours of video and audio records of Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity. Jones says in the suit that he believes Combs also him on February 2, 2023. He alleges he woke up dizzy and confused in bed with Combs and two sex workers. In response to a request for comment, Jones's attorney Tyrone Blackburn used a Latin phrase, res ipsa loquitur, which loosely translates as the thing speaks for itself, referring to the lawsuit. Jones says in the suit that he was under an implied work-for-hire agreement and was not compensated for the songs he produced on the Love album. As a result, the lawsuit says Combs, Love Records, Motown Records, and Universal Music Group were all unjustly enriched at his expense. Guys, seriously, this lawsuit is off the charts. As we all know that before now, Diddy has been sued by 4 women who have accused him of SA. Cassie, whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura, said Combs physically aided her and forced her to have sex with male while he got off on it and recorded the encounters. The lawsuit was settled the day after it was filed. The settlement was in no way an admission of wrongdoing, Combs' lawyer Ben Brafman has said. Following Cassie's lawsuit, 2 other women, Liza Gardner and Joey Dickerson-Neal, have alleged in lawsuits that Combs aided them. And a woman identified as Jane Doe in court documents said Combs and 2 other men worded her when she was 17 and Combs was 34. Those 3 cases against Combs are still pending. In a statement in December, he denied the allegations, saying enough is enough, and called the claims against him sickening. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth, he said in the statement. Guys, this is crazy. The accusations flying around could seriously dent Diddy's legacy and his whole business empire. I mean, after Ventura dropped her bombshell lawsuit, 3 of Diddy's former artists came out in support of her. And that's not all. Around the same time, Diddy stepped down from his chairman position at Revolt TV. Then, in December, Hulu pulled the plug on a reality show that was supposed to be all about Diddy's family. And if that's not enough drama for you, in January, Diddy settled his lawsuit with Diageo, where he was accusing them of racism. But hold on, guys, because we're about to dive into the other big names caught up in this legal drama. First up, we have Cuba Gooding Jr., according to the legal docs that TMZ managed to get their hands on. Jones believes that Diddy was pulling some shady moves with the intention of passing him off to other folks. And get this, he claims that Diddy introduced him to Cuba on his swanky yacht. And let's just say things took a nosedive into uncomfortable territory real quick. Allegedly, Cuba started making unwanted moves on Jones, totally crossing the line until Jones had to push him away. Jones even tossed in a pic of Cuba hugging him as supposed evidence. Mr. Combs had dominion and control over the actions of Cuba Gooding Jr. and failed to step in and stop Cuba Gooding Jr. from essaying Mr. Jones, the suit alleges. Now, we all know Cuba's been down this road before. Back in 2019, a bunch of women came forward with some seriously sketchy claims about his behavior, but this is the first time he's dealing with accusations from another guy. In June 2019, things got seriously messy for Cuba Gooding Jr. The dude found himself in hot hot water after an incident at a Times Square bar where he was accused of getting a little too handsy with a woman. But hold on, the legal roller coaster was far from over. Another charge was thrown his way, but Cuba managed to dodge the jail cell by striking up a plea deal. Fast forward to now, thanks to the Adult Survivors Act, which is the same law that allowed Cassie to sue Diddy last November, 2 alleged victims of Cuba have come forward with a fresh lawsuit. Then we've got Young Miami. Jones is dropping bombshells left and right, claiming he's got solid evidence of some seriously shady stuff going down. He alleges that Young Miami's cousin or assistant, whoever it may be, made unwanted advances towards him. According to Jones, things went down on Thanksgiving Day back in 2022 while he was chilling with Diddy, Young Miami, and her crew. Apparently, this cousin of Young Miami barged into the bathroom while Jones was doing his business, and things quickly escalated into some inappropriate touching. Jones tried to push her away, but it didn't end there. Allegedly, she then tried to get frisky right in front of Diddy and the gang. And that's not all. Jones claims Young Miami was among those getting paid by Diddy for some, extra services. Stevie J, the Grammy-winning producer from Bad Boy Records, also finds himself smack dab in the middle of these allegations from Jones. According to Jones, Diddy used Stevie J's admiration as part of some G-word process, aiming to ease Jones' anxieties about his sex preference. Allegedly, Diddy even showed Jones footage that he claimed was Stevie J getting cozy with another man. But hold on a sec. Turns out those screenshots weren't exactly what they seemed. Adult film star Knockout stepped up on Twitter, straight up saying, "It's me," throwing a wrench in the whole thing. And Stevie J isn't staying silent either. He's got his lawyer in the game, ready to handle this mess. But wait, there's more. Academics, the hip-hop commentator, dug up some juicy details from the lawsuit. It alleges that Diddy had some intimate relations with a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj and an R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. Now, the footnotes in the lawsuit got tongues wagging, suggesting these mystery celebs could be none other than Meek Mill and Usher. While it's all still up in the air, folks are definitely connecting the dots here.
Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in intercourse with rapper. 5, that's redacted. Look, 5, he's a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. And then the next person, R&B singer. 6, redacted. Look, he performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. Usher!
Well, this is a total mess. As this whole drama keeps unfolding, it's going to be one wild ride to see where it all ends up. Let us know what you about all this in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.